What's going on, everybody? My name is Sidewalkclosed. I am one half of Side Boob, and these are my top 5 favorite fighters of all time. These rankings will be in no particular order except for the number 1 spot. So we're going to start out with Roy Jones Jr. Honestly, Roy Jones Jr. is the reason I liked boxing as a kid. I just remember using him in some of the older video games. I liked his style, kind of hands down, picking you apart from the outside, but then explodes with power and precision. Like, there was nobody quite like Roy Jones Jr. when I was growing up. And I just really admired that style, the way he would just, float around and just kind of pick you apart, but also be really precise and powerful at the same time. Roy Jones Jr. is is probably my favorite boxer of all time, and definitely deserves a spot in the top 5 combat athletes of all time for me. Next, we'll jump into Dustin Poirier. Nothing quite like watching a really good Dustin Poirier fight. Honestly, just the way he has grit, toughness, he's always in there banging, always willing to throw hands, always trying to improve his game and do better. I really, really enjoy Dustin Poirier's fights. I enjoy his longevity, and I think every time he comes, it's going to be a really, really good fight. It doesn't matter if he wins or loses, he's always right in the mix. Next up, we have Max Holloway. And for similar reasons as Dustin Poirier, except crank the excitement up to a level 10. This guy always comes to bang. He's one of the baddest dudes on the planet. He doesn't shy away from a fight. He'll tell you where to stand. He'll throw hands. He'll kick you. He's always pressuring you. Like, Max Holloway is a joy to watch. He makes MMA fun to watch. If you have an all-time greats list that Max Holloway is not a part of, then we got some issues, because Max is amazing. Next up, we have a recent addition to my favorite fighters of all time. This will be Yuri Prochazka. Yuri is one of my favorites just because of his style. He's in, he's out, he throws bombs, he goes with reckless abandon. He doesn't care if he gets hit. He's going to try to hit you back 2, 3, 4 times in retaliation. Honestly, Yuri is just a madman, and I just love the fact that he doesn't really care. He just throws those flurries, and it's fun. And I'm noticing a pattern. I like these fun fighters. I really enjoy the fact that he's just so wild in there. But at the same time, he does have patience. He does pick you apart, but then he explodes, and it's great. Now, for my number 1 favorite of all time, it's Mauricio Shogun Rua. Shogun is the reason I started watching MMA. My brother had a DVD of Pride's Greatest Knockouts, and Shogun was on there. Pride's Greatest Fights, he was on there. I'm like, damn, this Shogun guy is really good. Then he got to the UFC, and he had a little bit of setbacks, but he turned it around. He turned his career around and became world champion. And honestly, technical, the kicks were brutal. This guy, whenever he was in his prime, had some of the best Muay Thai. Like, Shogun was the reason I started watching MMA. Shogun, I'll always be a fan of him. Doesn't matter how his career ended up. I love Shogun. I love watching any fight he's ever been in. I just love the fact that he never backed down. He was always trying to do that wild flurry to hit you in the face with the outside hooks, and then he'd finish it off with a leg kick or try to take you down with the trips. Like, Shogun was fun. He's one of my favorites. He's an absolute legend in Pride. He's a legend in UFC, and he will go down as one of the greatest of all time. So that's my top 5 favorite fighters of all time.